I'm a cardiovascular epidemiologist.
I work on pediatric infectious diseases.
I focus on prostate cancers and colorectal cancers.
I spent 24 years in northern Thailand working on HIV work.
Mostly I do infectious diseases in epidemiology, things like malaria, things like schistosomiasis.
I study the dynamics of infectious diseases, so how diseases move through populations over time and space.
Hopkins is just a great place to be. And I think the reason is the people.
This department is the oldest department of epidemiology in the world. It's a field that started 100 years ago and now has mushroomed and has spread through all parts of health sciences in many ways.
This was the motherlode of both epidemiology training, the development of new epidemiologic methods, case control studies, the refinement of randomized clinical trials.
It's pretty incredible to think that the Department of Epidemiology has stood right here on this ground for 100 years. It started with just a handful of people that were dedicated to understanding and asking questions related to health. And now we stand at over 125 faculty and a vibrant student community.
I know that although we're a big place, our global reach comes through collaborators that literally span the globe.
You learn a lot from the faculty that have done work before you, but the more important thing is that you will engage in a community with your peers that will fulfill your life forever.
It is a very diverse place. We have people from very different backgrounds, and they all bring unique skill sets in.
I was a practitioner in global health for 20 years before coming to Hopkins and coming back to school, and I was really looking for a place that could provide the theoretical underpinnings for the epi skills I had learned on the job.
I decided I wanted to do something more human-oriented. And a lot of times in computer science, we're sitting around and we're saying, well, we have this brilliant solution. What's the problem? And I don't necessarily work so well like that. I like to have problems. And in epidemiology, we're focused on people and we're focused on problems.
I was really interested in behavioral issues, in why people do what they do and what kind of bad decisions do people make and what kind of good decisions do they make. Health promotion, disease prevention.
It's about the people. To me, it's about the people, the population, and improving health.
Epidemiology, public health, has been called compassion at a distance. I will tell you honestly that the reason that I moved into HIV research and out of clinical medicine is that when I was a resident here, I'm a gay man, my partner was an actor, a beautiful young man. He was ill and eventually died when I was finishing my residency here. And I just felt like I had to make a difference that was going to matter. When I started my training, the average life expectancy was 11 months. We now have, for people on treatment, almost normal life expectancy.
I think the most exciting thing in these fields is the treatment advances, which is that for hepatitis C, in the past 4 years, there's been a revolution in therapeutics. We have one pill once a day that can be taken for 8 weeks that can cure almost everyone who's infected. So the idea that you can cure one's chronic infectious disease is pretty remarkable.
I went to work in a country where the transmission from the mother to the infant, transmission of HIV, was more than 30%. Today, it is less than 2%.
If I think back to 20 years ago, when I was starting out, we really thought about cancer as this deadly disease, and the focus of cancer research was really on treating the disease. And now, and a lot of this, epidemiology has contributed a lot to this paradigm shift. We're really thinking about how to prevent this disease.
You hope that the work that you're doing today, sometime in the future, is going to impact public health, is going to change something. But the direct impact that we get to have is with students. So with teaching, I feel like you get to feel that you are having an impact on not only people's perspective, but their future careers, their ability to do the same kind of work.
We bring much more than just looking at whether X is related to Y. We bring study design. We bring understanding of populations and sampling of populations.
It's important to commemorate the 100 years of our department because essentially we need to look to see where we've been to be able to think about where we're going into the future.
We just have so many stories, and you have to learn about those stories in order to realize how to best proceed forward. Because the basic principles of epidemiology, they may shift, they may grow, they may morph slightly, but they stay the same.
Reflecting on the past will help us to look at the next 100 years and help us to find out our identity and be proud of who we are and continue our work in the future.